What's cracking, everybody? Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. New video. Before I get into the video, I want you guys to do me a favor. Those of you that see this that are subscribed, go ahead and check your notifications and make sure they're on all. Because right now, a lot of people's are on personalized. Personalized means you're going to get the notification 2 or 3 days later if you're lucky. That said, Today's video is based off of a conversation I had with a friend of mine the other day. So I was talking to this friend of mine, and they told me that they have a cousin that has been in prison nearly 30 years now. He's still in the mix, right? And he's working on getting an attorney to get out of prison, right? And when I heard this is what I say. When I heard this, the first thing that I said was, you know what? That's a good thing that your primo has not given up hope yet, because that's what that means. For him to have been in there for all those years and still be thinking of an attorney and there's a possibility, that's a great thing. I'm going to tell you why. I've told you guys many times that 99% of the dudes in there, no matter what they're involved in, if they were given an opportunity to come home, to be with their kids, to make kids, to be with their mom, their dad, whatever, sisters, brother, whatever, they would take that opportunity and not look back. There's only a small percentage that would come out and be like, I got to get my money. I got to and go about criminality again. I guarantee you that, right? But the reality is also this, man. Let me give you, there's several realities in this. When you get busted, and I can speak from experience, when I got busted, when they put the handcuffs on me, I knew without a doubt I will never see the streets again. Had it not been for SB 261, I wouldn't have got out. SB 261 is where they had, if you're under 21 at the time you commit your murder, they have to evaluate you differently than anyone that catches a murder as an adult, because your mind is not fully developed, and it just gave a lot of action to thousands and thousands of people, right? Had that not happened, I would still be in there. So I was blessed, right? But like I was saying, when I went in, I never thought about going home, never had it as a reality. Now, another reality is this. I remember being around some of the legends, right, in the shoe. And, they would meet a youngster, just, his first time in the Bay. And, like in the law library back when we used to all be able to go together, and they would ask him, like, hey, how much time you doing? And basically, I don't want to get into the whole conversation, but they would tell him, like, hey, if you have action to going home, why don't you pursue that? If you want to be an idiot, believe me, there's shit to do in here, but why wouldn't you want to try to go home first? And it was very few of the legends that talked like that and thought like that. And over the years, it became more of, if you are in the yard and you're talking about, and I'm not talking about the legend, I'm talking about, regular vatos that, their mentality is or was kill, kill, kill. If you were to vocalize or verbalize wanting to go to the law library, wanting to win your appeal, wanting to go home, all of those things were viewed as weakness. Next thing you know, people are whispering, hey, Holmes, so with this vato? Can't trust this dude, Holmes. The vato's trying to go home. Think about that. I don't know if all the other prison systems are like that, but California is extremely cutthroat. I have friends that did time in the state. In the feds. And I talked to them about the feds and the mentality in the feds compared to the state. And it's a damn shame, man, that over here in the state, it's extremely dog eat dog. And the reality is, with every faction, you are more likely to lose your life at the hands of one of your own. Especially now that they have everybody out there, you don't really hear about riots. You don't hear about skirmishes between factions anymore. So it's going to be one of your own. One that you are willing to kill or die for is going to be the one. If someone feels you make a mistake, it's your buddy that's pushing that knife in you. You can't talk about having hope, having love. You can't have those type of positive emotions and express them. You can have them inside, and bury them away deep under a whole bunch of concrete in your heart, and maybe express those feelings in a letter to loved ones, people you trust on the streets, but on the yard, it's like when I did the video of when my mom committed suicide, and when I got the phone call, my immediate reaction was, who can I retaliate on? And I asked, how did it happen? Because I didn't know yet. This just my dad told me your mom's gone. I said, how did it happen? Because I immediately wanted someone to transfer my hurt. And when he told me what it was like the air got let out of my balloon. I was like, damn, I don't have nobody to retaliate against. And I told you in the video, the next thing I was going to do was I wanted to get off on one of the cops that escorted me because I didn't like him. Thank God he didn't come back out of the office. His partner did. And on my walk back, you guys can watch the video, but I'm going to just talk a little bit about it. On the walk back to the unit, the CO told me, hey, have a seat, sit down. He goes, what happened? And I told him, man, my mom killed herself. And he looked at me and he said, my heart is hurting for you. And I remember I looked at him and I saw he was telling the truth. And it hit me. I saw a glimpse of humanity in the middle of Pelican Bay State Prison, B facility. At the time, we had just had the riot. There was still raincoats with blood smeared all over them, ripped up, clothes that were ripped up, shirts because it was an active crime scene. And I have a correctional officer looking me into my eyes, and I see pain in his eyes because I was in pain. And I went back to my cell. And I didn't see that in any of the homies' eyes. And even though the ones that did find out would tell me, hey, I feel for you. I know what you're going through. It pissed me off because you don't know what I'm going through. Nobody knows what anybody else's relationship is when they lose somebody. But anyways, that was just another little example to show, like, I was hurting and couldn't show it. I was hurting bad. And no one else understood it. Really didn't give a fuck. Because you got to man up in there. Get in line. You know what time it is. You know what we got to do. We're at war right now. So I tell people, as an individual, if you don't like being told what to do, if you don't like nobody in your business, do not play gangster. Do not play with crime. Because you as an individual, when you get behind them walls, you mean nothing. You are a tiny piece of something you'll never understand. So anyways, that's my video for today, man. Some food for thought. Those of us that made it through and are out here, I hope that every one of us takes at least a minute every day to appreciate what we have. Those of you that were lucky enough to dodge all that bullshit, I hope you too will be able to look at your kids or your lady or your husband or your mom and just appreciate that you've had them your whole life. With that said, everybody please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them. I'm out.